Now, today we'll have a revision of the content what we have delivered in the last few session on this subject of networking. We'll have some small revision and then we'll enter the last point of this networking chapter. And today we'll wind up with this one small example of datagram. Now in this chapter we have started with networking, and into this we have seen in the syllabus that we need to know what is actually the socket is, what is port, what is proxy server, TCP, UDP, what we call as protocols in networking which are required. We need to develop a TCP and UDP based application also. So we have done ample number of example on TCP, but we are still awaited with UDP based application that we'll do today. Then after that we'll be entering into the tomorrow session we'll be entering into the RMI. We'll have an examples on RMI, what is marshalling, unmarshalling, and what are the different applications. Actually there is no question being asked directly into syllabus, but we need to go into detail about the contents. Now in this what we have gone through is that we have talked about the TCP and UDP protocol in detail, and how this communication goes through in TCP. With an example we have seen whether it is a web browsing or email, TCP protocol is been preferred, whereas in music streaming we'll go for UDP protocol because it works on unicast, multicast, and broadcast mechanism, whereas TCP is only for the unicast. That is one-to-one connection. That is only client is being connected to the server. There is only one connection between the both. So we have seen how this request and response operate in TCP and UDP, and based on the differences we have gone to the multiple differences of TCP protocol against the UDP protocols. So we know that whenever we talk about TCP protocol we talk about HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, SMTP protocols, and telnets. These are the basic protocols which work under TCP, whereas DHCP and DNS and TFTP, SNMP, RIP, and VoIP, these are the some protocols which work under UDP, that is user datagram protocols. When we talk about TCP protocols, networking related applications, we need to know some basic things, that what is IP address, what is protocol, what is port number, what is MAC address, what is connection oriented, and what is connectionless protocols, what is exactly the socket means. So these are the basic names you come across whenever we talk about the networking in Java. We have seen TCP protocol in the help of this diagrammatic representation. We have written some applications where we have connected a client with the server, and how this socket of client is connected to the socket of the server, how this binding is being going on, what all functions are required, that is accept function, how this input and output streams work for reading and writing the content between the server, client, and server. We see this, and we finally close all the files that we have opened, all the classes which are required for the programming to go for networking. We close and we end up with the program from the server side, not from the client side. So server will always remain live or on till the client is getting connected. So this is the basic diagrammatic representation we have seen as far as the TCP IP protocol is concerned. Now basically whenever we used to create a client and server applications, there were some limited changes we have to do. That is, in server we have to use a class called as server socket, and we have to give the name, port number of the server which is been active. And by using a socket object, server socket object, we are creating a socket object using accept function. It is accepting the request from the different clients. And as far as the socket of client is concerned, we have used the different way of creating the socket object, where we have given the name of the server and its port number through which it will be getting connected. So this were the basic changes as far as the socket is concerned in the client and on the server side. Now in input and output stream, these were the two streams we were required for reading and writing some content. So for the purpose of reading something, we used to use input stream, and for the purpose of writing something on the stream, that is the message we want to transfer to the another machine, so we used to use output stream. So input stream for the purpose of getting something into your program, that is reading, we used to use function called as read int, read utf, read. There are different functions of reading all those things. And whenever we want to write something, that is we want to send something to the another system, we have used data output stream and output stream, and we have used the function called as write utf, write int, write double. That type of functions we have used, and we have transferred a content from one machine to the another. So these were the basic things that the IO package has provided with us, and we have used that in a real life example. And as far as examples are concerned, we have already done example on ecosystem, how the client the message is been transferred to the server and how it comes back. This type of small examples we have done. Then after that, how the this small examples are being compiled and how it has been run. So basically we need to compile your client program and server program, and we need to open two command prompt. If we are not using any id, we need to open two command prompt. One command prompt will be running the server first, and second command prompt will be running the client on the second DOS prompt. So it will be getting connected automatically, and you will find this networking will automatically get executed. Now we have gone through different types of examples over there. We have also gone for the chatting application, a simple chat application and a threaded chat application, that have already we have completed in a previous session. If you don't have that content, you can refer my videos in which we have already gone through the chatting applications. And this program may be, and it's 100% it is accepted that it will be asked in a university examination. Now there are different programs I was expecting from you to do. This is one I am expecting that you should that reversing of string we have already done. We have counted the vowels. Then we what examples I have given, that is you have to display the cube of a given number. And second example I'm expecting from your side is that you need to connect your client to the server, and server should give its date and time to the client. So you try this example at home. It's very simple. You need to use some ready-made classes of utility, that is date, and transfer the current date of your system to the client, so that client can understand what is exactly the system time and date. So these things we have completed already into your TCP protocol. Now we are entering into UDP protocol. Now UDP protocol itself is an example. We'll go for the previous session what was there in a UDP, and then we'll move to the what is exactly how this program has been written. Now basically whenever we are going for the diagrammatic representation, UDP protocol is somewhat, we say that it is a fast but non-guaranteed transfer. So how it is basically is used in music streaming, whatever applications you are using that is being connected to the big servers, and where you are streaming, you are accessing some videos and audios. At those situations you are using this UDP protocol. It is unreliable, but as far as the execution, that is fast, its move, it is more efficient than the TCP protocol. Now this UDP protocol is unicast, means one server can be connected to one client. It can be multi-class, means what one server can connect to 1, 2 or 3, and it can be a broadcast also. So one server can be connected to the multiple at a one glance. You can send a message to the multiple client at a one single instant. So that is possible only using your UDP protocol. So that's why it is more important. When we move to the industry, you will find that the UDP protocols plays very important role in this industry. Now here you will find there is only a request and response. There is no synchronization, and unsynchronized way of mechanism is been followed in UDP. You are sending a request, you are getting a response. It's just like this. But here you will find in TCP it is synchronized way. So you can synchronize parallelly. You can send continuous messages to the server. A server can send a continuous message. It will be streamed automatically, because TCP protocol is very clever protocol. It will assure you that it is reliable protocol. 100% your message will be delivered on a client and from the client to the server. So assurance is given by TCP, whereas UDP don't give you assurance. There is no mechanism of acknowledgement over here in UDP protocol. So acknowledgement is not being considered. And as far as the basic things of UDP is concerned, it is basically we call it as basically we call it as what we call as connectionless protocol. It is not being considered in the connectionless. It is basically on error checking mechanism. It don't have different types of error mechanism mechanism to check, just like acknowledgement which is there in TCP. Here we don't find that acknowledgement over here. The delivery of data is to the destination cannot be guaranteed as far as UDP is concerned, whereas we can guarantee the guarantee your data will be transferred to the client in a TCP. So UDP is unreliable. It cannot guarantee your data, and it is what we call as it can terminate at any movement. So it is unreliable. Now you have seen that is in UDP is a fast, simple, and more efficient. Fast, simple, and most efficient. There is no retransmission of look. Once your message has been aborted or stopped, it cannot be re-invoked by your UDP protocol, which is possible in your TCP. So here there is no re-invocation. Here the data is transferred in the format of 8 bytes. basically in a TCP it is 20 to 80 bytes, so huge data can be transferred in TCP, whereas in UDP it is only 8 bytes fixed length header is been possessed over here. UDP comparative to TCP is lightweighted, it's very easy to use this, it is very fast comparative to other things. One most important is broadcasting, it can be supporting broadcasting, whereas you cannot see broadcasting in your TCP. The different types of protocols which work under UDP is DNS, DHCP, the Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, TFTP, SNMP, Simple Network Management Protocol, RIP, then your VoIP. So you can go through these names and you can find this type of protocols are being used over there. So this were the basic theory of your datagram. Now datagram, basically when we talk about datagram socket and datagram packet, these are the two things we need to understand. In TCP it is socket, here there is no socket, there is only datagram socket and there is datagram packet. Itself the name is called as, it is not a simple socket, it is datagram socket. It is whenever you are transferring some data, it is in the format of packets, so we call it with the name, we create with the name called as a datagram packet. So these are the two classes, datagram socket class and datagram packet class, which are being used for the connectionless socket programming. So you have to keep in mind there are the two classes, that is datagram socket and datagram packet. Now how this to be used and what all things are being important. So what is exactly the meaning of socket, how it is being used. So datagram socket is a class which is represent a connectionless socket for sending and receiving datagram packets. So this is the only class that will be sending some and receiving some data from your client to the server. The datagram is basically one second. Now in this protocol you cannot assure that your data will be transmitted 100%. It may be a situation where your data may get collapsed, and but you need there is no mechanism to retain or recollect those data what you have transferred. So you have to be very cautious whenever you use this UDP protocol. So datagram is basically an information, but there is no guarantee of its connect arrival or arrival time. So you cannot predict how much time it will take to send and receive. So how this is being created, there are different constructors. So datagram socket is a class that throws socket exception. It is unparameterized default constructor. One is with parameterized constructor and second one is with two parameter, one is port number and one is INET address, that is internet address of your server or client, that can be used. And all this constructor, whenever you are using this class, it will surely throw one exception called as a socket exception. So you should keep in mind whenever you are using datagram socket, it is nothing but an exception you need to handle, that is socket exception. Now this is as far as the connection of client and server is concerned, that is sender and receiver is concerned. Now here whenever you are transferring some data, it's a duty of your developer, they convert those data into a small packets. So it is 8-bit of or 8-bit header packets are being created, and we need to manually, we have to write a code where we'll be converting this into a small packet. So this contains, this is nothing but a datagram packet is a message that can be sent or received. It can be sent multiple packets, it may arrive in any time, any order. Additionally, packets delivery is not guaranteed. So whenever you are using datagram packet, this is the constructor, it is with two parameter, one with the size of packet and its length. Actual content, it is in the format of bytes, and how much it contains, that is its length. Same way a packet can be in the format of bytes, integer, and the address from which and to which it will be transferred, and the port number of the server also. So basically whenever packets are used, we will be implementing this in a real life example now, and we'll find this how this packet class can be used to transfer your data, and how this it is being converted into small packets. Your data can be converted into small packets. So this is one small example. We don't call it as what we call as server, we don't call it as client, we call it as sender and receiver. So sender means what, the person, the program that will be sending something to the receiver. And what is receiver? Receiver is nothing but it will be accepting something from the another machine. So your receiver is nothing but your server, and sender is nothing but your client. You have to keep in mind that sender is nothing but your client, receiver is nothing but your server. So server will always remain start. And so this is what the basic theoretical part is concerned. Now we'll go for the small example of this datagram, and here we'll be implementing this mechanism of sending and receiving some data from this. So receiver is nothing but your server. You keep in mind this is nothing but a server. So I am writing here, this is nothing but a server. We called it as a receiver. Receiver means what? The person, program that is receiving something. So whenever you are moving to any network program, you have to use this package, that is java.net package, and some IO input and output streaming is going on, so that for that purpose we are using java.io package. So these are the two basic package. Whenever we move for the networking programs, we have to implement those packages. Now here I have created one class with called as a datagram receiver. Now datagram receiver is nothing but your server, so it will be receiving, it will be starting first, then only the sender will be sending. So receiver should be always be live, so we'll call it a datagram receiver. And in this program I am writing a main function, and I am catching some exception of IO, because I will be accepting something, and I will, so that's why I am using an IO exception over here. So waiting for a packet, because as soon as the program is started, it will be waiting for the packets to be get received. And I have written a code into while loop, so it is endless loop, means what? It will not terminate till the program has been externally stopped by anybody else. So okay, now this is byte. You know there are different data types. There is integer, there is a float, there is character, there is a short, there is int. So in that datagram only support for bytes, so we have to create a buffer, that is a array of bytes, and that will be containing some data. So I am creating the name called as a buffer, and it is array, so it means it will be containing a array list of your bytes. And I have created this class, this what do you call is primitive data type object, like using a new keyword. So new byte, and it is a size of 100, so 100 will be the size been specified to this buffer. Okay, now datagram packet. Now I need to convert this, I need to know what size of data will be received towards me, then what will be the size of packets that will be receiving towards it. So I need to specify the packet. So if your packet is ready, then only it will be received into this object. So how to create this packet? It is very simple. Packet, datagram packet. I'm using a new keyword. I'm using creating a datagram packet, and this is a buffer and its length. And how I'm getting this length? This 100 size is just getting by this name of the object dot length. So I don't need to be give specifically here. I cannot give 100. I can use a directly buffer dot length function, and I will get a runtime. If I put it 200, the 200 size buffer will be ready in this object with name called as a datagram packet. So now this packet is ready. It is will be accepting some data. As soon as it get connected to the receiver, sender will be sending something, and it will be directly put it into my receiver object. So it is ready now. Now my duty is to get connected. So this is a port number of my own system. So datagram socket, and as I am a server, so I should know which port of my system is ready to accept those data. So datagram socket of your server is very simple, datagram socket, and I am giving a name called as a S new datagram socket, and the port number that will be opened for this connection is 3000, that is 3000 will be the port number of my system that will be ready. And this object dot receive will be receiving the buffer data automatically from this, and it will be stored into this DP datagram packet. So datagram packet will be received over here, and it will be stored into this. Now if I want to display this content, I will be need to convert this into a data, because it is in a bytes. So DP is nothing but datagram packets. It is in the format of bytes, because we have sent it in the buffer. Buffer is nothing but a byte. So bytes I need to convert into data. So get data will be converting that byte into the actual data what that person has sent to you. So get data will be converting into data, and that will be stored into a variable called as a buffer same. And thus by using my new string object, I am converting that bytes into a string, and that will be displayed into system.out.println. And finally I am closing this socket, because datagram socket my task is completed. The socket will be closed immediately. It will not wait, because it is user datagram packet. It is not connection oriented programming, it is connectionless programming. So I will be closing immediately my socket, but still my program will run because I have written everything into while loop. So it will be running continuously, but as soon as the packet is received, here there is no accept, here there is no direct connection between the sender and receiver. It is only as soon as it has been sent, it will be catched by the socket and it will be received using a receive function, and it will be transferred to the data packet, and this data packet you can convert it into a data and you can display it on a screen also, whatever data you have received in the format of bytes. It's a very simple program, a 2-3 lines code you have to keep in mind. The step number 1, here you have to set up a while loop. Let it be, this is my step number 1. So step 1, I need to create a buffer byte. I need to create a byte buffers. So this is first step number 1. Second one, I need to create packet, that is datagram packet, that will be converting the buffer size, that will be accepting. Step number 3, that I need to create a socket, so that is nothing but a datagram socket. This is not a regular socket, it is datagram socket. So I need to create an object of this one, and I have to pass one parameter, that is my port number of receiver. So यानी मेरे खुद के ही प्रोग्राम का मुझे पोर्ट नंबर देना है. सो ये प्रोग्राम का खुद का ये पोर्ट नंबर है. सो माई पोर्ट नंबर इज नथिंग बट 3000. सो दैट इज द पोर्ट नंबर. एंड step number 4, I need to receive the data. So for that purpose I will be using a function called as receive. So that will be used for the purpose of receiving the data, and this is nothing but a typecasting or conversion into regular format. So step number 4 will be conversion of bytes into data. So that is been done and will be displayed on console. So this is the basic steps that is being followed, 4 steps, and finally I need to close this one. So this is my final step. So step number 5, closing your datagram socket. So you need to close your socket immediately after your work. So this is the basic things. If you have any doubt, you can speak now. Yes, anyone, any doubt? Shall I move further? Okay. Now this is my server. Now I need to send something, so I am writing a program for my client also. So this is nothing but my client, we call it as sender. So sender is nothing but your client, so that will be there. And as I am saying that these are the 2 packages which are required basically whenever we go for the networking program. Here I am creating a class datagram sender, and I am writing a code into my main function. So these are the basic format will be source and format it. Okay, so here that will be a class and that will be containing a main function. Now in this main function I will be using that IO exception and bind exception, because whenever you are connecting to the server, that is a receiver, so sender need to be binded with the receiver. So there might be a possibility that you are not catching the port number 3030, you cannot get the name or IP address of the system, so that can be the problem. So you will be handling those exception called as a bind exception. Now first here step number 1, what I want to transfer, so data to be sent. So I have written a code, I have written something into this. So you have so it's a data from sender in a packet send using UDP protocol. So this is the data I will be sending from my sender to receiver. So I have converted, I have written into double quote, and I have stored into my local variable, that is my data. Then again same way I need to convert this is into a small byte. So data need to be typecasted. So this is step number 2. So I'm converting data into bytes. And how it has been done? It's very simple. I'm creating the byte array. You can write like this also, or you can write like this also. Both are same, no issue. Array of byte or array of buffer, it's same, the meaning is the same. So you can write in any way. You can write the byte array also like this, and you can remove this from this also, so no issue will be there. It's your choice how you have to declare the array of your bytes. Now this data means whatever I have written into this, I am converting it into bytes. So using get bytes is the name of function. So I have will be using get byte function. So byte get bytes is a function that will be converting your actual data into bytes. So that will be converted and that will be stored into this array of your buffer class. Now datagram packet, because I need to create small packets of 100 size, because here it is said that the size will be accepted only in the format of hundreds. So here I will be converting this into a different format. So where to send? So datagram packet here in a receiver is somewhat different. It's very simple, just a buffer and its buffer length. But in when we go for datagram packet into your sender, it has 3 parameters you have to keep in mind. First, the buffer, what data I have to pass, its length, how much length it contains, and to whom I want to transfer. मेरे सर्वर का नाम क्या है? So there is inet socket address, that is internet socket address will be there, and the first name is nothing but your server name, and second one is a port number. Now here server don't require its name, it only requires the name of a port to which it will be connecting to the different receivers. So senders, so receivers will be only accepting through port number 3030. Now I need to keep in mind to whom I want to connect. So that is localhost, my local machine. You can put a IP address also of a specific machine, and what specific port number. So 3030 port number, and it will be nothing but your object of your inet socket address. So now you will be receiving the packet. The packet will be sent in the buffer format with the specific length to this person, that is localhost, and it is this port number. So packet will be containing all information. Okay, now here I am creating, this is step number 3, create datagram packet with reference to सर्वर, या फिर हम उसको बोलते हैं रिसीवर, जो रिसीव करने वाला, रिसीव नेम एंड पोर्ट नंबर. ये चीज़ें आपको पता होना चाहिए. रिसीवर नेम एंड पोर्ट नंबर इज मैंडेटरी. तो ये मेरे पास दोनों मिल चुके हैं. एंड देन आफ्टर दैट आई एम क्रिएटिंग यूजिंग स्टेप नंबर 4. अभी मैं एक्चुअल कनेक्ट करूँगा उसके साथ. तो स्टेप नंबर 4 विल बी नाउ हियर द सॉकेट. मुझे भेजने के लिए मेरा भी सॉकेट होना चाहिए ना. हियर देयर इज अ सॉकेट with 30 that will be accepting. Now here I will be using a socket, but from where I will be sending, because it will be received on 3030 port number of this server, but I need to specify by them which port will is ready to send this one. So this is a port number of my own machine. So this is nothing but your port of sender that will send data packets. So here the port number will be specified into my this socket, and this is 3009 number port of my machine will be sending 3000 of this server. So this is port is ready. Now this socket is ready, and it's very simple, socket dot send, and I am sending this packet, because this packet contains buffer, and buffer is nothing but a data. So you are binded this data into a buffer in the format of bytes, and you have sent it to the specific host server. But who will be sending? This is nothing but a socket will be sending. So socket will be sending from port number 3009 to 3000 port using a send function. And what exactly? It is nothing but a packet. So socket is sending packet, and finally my work task is completed. Socket will be closed and the program is stopped. So are you clear with this one? Yes. If you have any problem, you can
Yes, sir.
speak now.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Any question?
No, sir.
Okay. So shall I run this program?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first I need to start my server because this is my server. So datagram receiver will be the first program that will be running first. So right click and I am running this program, Java application. So first it will show that it is started. So here you see waiting for packet. So it means server has started, that is receiver is started. So waiting for packet to be received. Now I am sending this data from sender to the receiver. So I am running this sender program now. Right click and run. As soon as it's sent, it will get terminated because there is no while loop. So this program is terminated. Now I will check it on this program whether receiver has received or not. So see the packet, the data you have sent, that is data from sender in the packet, has been sent on this machine. And as soon as, because there is no while loop, so as soon as this data is been sent, it will stop immediately. And as you know that receiver will be receiving it and it will be displaying and it will not terminate because there it is still alive because I have written everything into while loop. So this program will never stop, that is receiver will always receive the content from this sender. So sender data is been received on a receiver machine and it is visible on a receiver's machine. So do you have any doubt? This concept is only asked in university examination for knowing whether you know sender and receiver datagram socket and datagram packet and how these are being getting connected. So it's a very simple program been asked. Probably it is not been asked, but you should be ready with this type of program. No specific question, only the concept will be asked for short note. Write short note on datagram. इतना ही short note आपको पूछा जा सकता है. Any doubts? Yes. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Now this how we'll completed a syllabus of this networking. Tomorrow we'll start with RMI.